Hey everyone, it's Denise. Whew, I have a little bit of a cold, but I am here live with you tonight to talk a little bit about whatever you want, really. I'm going to talk a little bit about closing, about follow-up, about some systems that I have to really streamline the process because really this is all about gathering leads. In this business, our job is to gather as many leads as possible so we can follow up with as many people as possible, right? And if you don't have people to follow up with, then your business is not growing. So you always want to be adding to your hundreds list. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do, and I hope that this kind of spurs on some conversation. I have you in my office, and the computer is right here, so I can check out your comments and answer questions and things. The one thing about a Google Hangout like this is that you can't
Hey everyone,
talk,
it's Denise.
but you can. There we go. Sorry, but you can. You can't verbally talk to me, but I can see you through the comments and stuff. So feel free to chat and ask questions as you see fit. So with that being said, I'm just going to share a little bit about what I do in terms of follow-up. So again, the goal is to always be generating leads, which means Facebook, advertising, expos, parties, rep appointments. I mean, blitzing everywhere you go. People are really starting to get results from just wearing their t-shirt all the time, having blitz cards and coupons with them all the time. So all that kind of stuff is really, really important. And when you've got those leads coming in, you want to be able to streamline the follow-up process. So some things that I have to help with this are number one, I have autoresponders. And the autoresponders are important for obviously following up, but then to have standard emails that you can give to loyal customer, maybe potential loyal customers, and then potential distributors. So an idea, if you don't necessarily want to get an iContact account or an autoresponder system account, that with something like that, you set up maybe 5 or 6 emails, plug their information in, and then they automatically get the emails. And so the reason I do that is then I know people are getting emails from me, and I just have to worry about calling and texting them. So you can do something like that. MailChimp, iContact is a good one, but you can also create canned responses in your Gmail. And then something that I know people have done is they create a group in their Gmail, so a loyal customer group, a potential group, and then a distributor group or prospect group or whatever. And so every time they meet someone, they add them to that list. And then you can create a canned response in your Gmail account. And this has saved my life because we know most people ask the same questions over and over again. So you want to have maybe a first, how does the rep work one, or how much does it cost to sign up? And you can have the answers already ready for these common questions, and then you can just put it in. And I can show you how to do that if you want to see it, but those canned responses on Gmail is a great way to start. You can also do a Google Doc, so that way no matter what computer you're on, you can access it and copy and paste it into an email. And I think the goal is just to really have a seamless system of follow-up so it's not hard. If your follow-up system is tricky or anxiety provoking, then you're not going to do it. So it's important to have those autoresponders in place, to have quality answers where, of course, the verbiage is compliant, where you are spelling things correctly, where you are using full sentences. I mean, that really presents you well to a prospect, and you want to make sure you're doing that too. And that they're just well thought out and that you can easily send it to them. And then when you've got those prospects, then you want to be Facebook follow-up or Facebook texting and emailing or calling them consistently. Hopefully the email system is kind of taking care of themselves, and honestly I know most people don't even read their emails as much anymore, so I wouldn't necessarily do heavy on that, but it's nice for them to see your name consistently. I know I blast my leads every single Thursday for opportunity call. I blast my loyal customers at that time as well, and I post on my fan page every Thursday, so people are seeing it over and over and over and over again. But more often, I'm calling and texting, and connecting with people on Facebook in order to just keep the relationship active. So what questions do you guys have about follow-up in specific? And then maybe we can talk about some verbiage for closing, maybe some one-liners, things to say. But then also I want to hear from you. I know, Janelle, you said you're on here. You're like a recruiting machine. Several of you have been with us for quite a while, and you're getting the knack of this. So certainly feel free to share your tips too. We're always learning. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, thank you, Lisa. I am in a dark room surrounded by computers. It must be the computer light. Hey, Amanda. Big shout out to Amanda, who recently just quit her job. Very bold move. I know she's in the right place at the right time, and she was in a job that she hated, and she said, why am I doing that when I can do something way, way better? So congratulations to that big step, Amanda, and we are with you all the way. All right, well, I'll just kind of keep sharing some thoughts, but feel free to post questions as you get through. Verbiage. Okay, here are some thoughts I have about verbiage. I think the biggest thing is to just be real. And I say that, I mean, I'm serious when I say that. Just be yourself and be real and be comfortable. I think often people want to be too professional. Maybe they say things like, you know, I remember when I used to call leads at the beginning, I'd say, why, hello, my name is Denise Walsh. I'm calling from It Works and the Ultimate Body Applicator, and I'm calling to answer any questions you may have. And, you know, I felt like I had to represent professionalism so they'd think I was a real business or something like that. And it didn't work. It just didn't work because people aren't connected to that. What they're connected to is, hey, it's Denise. I'm calling about the It Works wrap. You requested information, and I just wanted to see what you're looking for, how I can help, and see if this is a good fit for you. And that's usually the message I leave, because half the time we're leaving messages, right? And so you really just want to be personal. I often say things like, yeah, I'm picking up my son from school, or I'm out grocery shopping, or I just worked out. What are you up to? Or, oh, hey, I'm going through Starbucks, because that seems to happen all the time. And so I'm just kind of telling them what I'm doing at that moment, and then I ask them. And then I say, well, what brought you to the site? What intrigued you about the wrap or the business? And tell me more about your story. And I think the biggest thing when you're following up with people is to listen to them. And when you're listening to them, you get a gauge of what they're looking for. Oh, they hate their job. Well, we can help with that. Oh, they want more time with their kids. Oh, we can help with that. Oh, they're in debt. Oh, we can help with that. Oh, they have health issues. We can help with that. I mean, all these issues we can really work through and help with because we really do have an answer for everything. And when you're confident in that, and you're confident in the perfect storm, in the fact that when people try, they will succeed in this business. As I've heard on several calls lately, it's all about energy and time, and the more energy and action you take on a daily basis throughout time, you will see those of your labor. And when you're confident in that, then I think you're going to call people with a bit more gusto and passion, because you know that if they really want it, they can experience success, and this will be life-changing for them. So, good questions. Is there any way to find out what corporate sends to loyals? Good question. I would say sign someone up that you know and have them tell you. I actually don't know. I don't really think that there's a way unless you maybe ask to get on the loyal customer autoresponder list from corporate, because they have autoresponders and then they blast their list as well. So I guess I would say at your next party or in the next wrap appointment, next loyal that you sign, maybe have them email you the connections and emails that they get, because I do think that would be interesting to know. All right, Anna, good question. You don't want to come across as you're trying to sell something, and you get emails yourself and you hate them. Good question. Okay, here's the deal. If you're building the relationship, you're providing good customer service. How many times have you been at an expo? I remember one time I went to an expo. I actually scheduled a party with this lady because she was giving away free baskets, right, if you schedule a party. I scheduled a party. I got a free basket. I put the party date on my calendar, and she never called me. She never called me. I was planning to do it. It was in my calendar. I got this free basket of goodies from her, and she did not provide me good customer service. So now if I'm going to ever purchase from this company, do you think I'm even going to know who she is? No. No, what we were doing when we're following up with people is providing good customer service. And the deal is you're not just saying, hey, come try a wrap. You're saying, hey, what you looking for? You requested information at an expo. You were at the party. You tried a wrap. What are you looking for, and how can I help you? And when you come at it with a mindset of providing good customer service, and honestly, it's rude if you don't follow up, then I think it's just a little different spin. And again, the emails are not spam emails. They're more relationship building. They provide content. What does the wrap do? What is this? I know I signed up one of my hot distributors who went presidential in 2 years because of an autoresponder. And that makes me say I'm not going to stop doing it. Because even though it may annoy some people and they may opt out, it also hits people right when they hear it. And the tagline of that one, Cynthia Wanko, Presidential Diamond from Winnipeg, signed up 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 now, with an autoresponder that said, "Are you procrastinating?" at the top. And she said, "Oh, I am." And she signed up, and I do not regret sending that email. So I think that you're going to get more from it than you'll get haters, because when you sign people up, because you followed up with them, you'll gain confidence in that. And I think it's just about consistency. So blasting your list or connecting with them on Facebook or sending them a text, if you don't do it, then they're going to go find somebody else. We've also found people who they will call us and say, yeah, I talked to somebody, but I don't remember who it was, and they never called me back. So what happens then is they go Google it, right, and they go search, or they go find someone in their area, and they don't even remember your name. So at the end of the day, at least people remember my name, hopefully, right? They see it coming up through their emails, and then the texts as well. Now, I probably really follow up with somebody for the first 4 to 6 weeks. And then after that, I have them in my list, and I blast them periodically. I'm not going to stalk someone that doesn't want to be stalked. It's not worth my time to convince somebody to join this business. If they're interested and they have fear, then I can work with that. But I'm not going to stalk somebody that's just sitting there like not even interested at all. So if you're at if you've got someone that says, nah, not right now, then you can certainly ask them questions like, well, what are you thinking? What's going on? Are you in? But at the end of the day, just blast them, blast your list when you've got the opportunity calls and things, and I think that should be good enough, because you do have to gauge your time. I'd rather you go get more leads than follow up with bad ones, right? All right. You naturally, Tamra, that's totally normal. Totally normal. I think that's about what we get to. She says 10% actually open it. That's fine. I mean, because out of that, as long as that's not hard, an autoresponder, Sean, I'll answer your question. An autoresponder is something where you can send up through eye contact or MailChimp or a system, Constant Contact, where you have emails already set up. So what happens is I've got like 12 emails already set up. And if somebody enters information or a prospect comes or I meet someone at a party or blitzing, I add them to this list, and they automatically get an email out on day 1, day 2, day 4, day 6, day 7. And now they're getting those auto emails from me, and I will blast the list every Thursday for an opportunity call. Blast the list, blast the list. When we get new products, blast the list. When we get, something happens, blast the list. And people can opt out. So the good thing about an autoresponder system, where it's eye contact, constant contact, something like that, is they can opt out. So they requested information, and then they can opt out. So you're not spamming them. They requested that information, and then they can certainly unsubscribe if they want to. But something like that makes follow-up a lot easier on your end, because then you just focus on phone and Facebook, and you don't have to worry about sending them emails as much. So that's the auto part, and I definitely think it's worth the effort, even if you just do 5 to 6 emails each. Maybe that's a way I follow up with my loyal customers, prospects, and then even new distributors. If you don't want to do that just yet, or maybe you're new and you don't want to spend the money, or you don't have enough contacts just yet, then I would do a Google group. And what you would do is you'd start a group in Google in your Gmail, and then you would BCC everyone, so blind carbon copy everyone. Put your name at the top, your email at the to section, then BCC everybody else, and then you can blast that list as well, because we just want to make follow-up easy. If it's too hard, we're not going to do it. And you can create canned responses and things like that to help with making things streamlined. Janelle, you are getting your fears. Good. Getting over your fears. Tell me what are some of the things that have helped you get over your fear? Anna, good question. I would say that you would just say, hey, you could just have a silly email that says, hey, I haven't forgotten about you. Just got busy, as I know you have too, and wondered if you were still curious about that crazy rap thing. You know, you don't want it to be like, sorry, I dropped the ball, but you want to say, I know you're busy, so am I, crazy holidays, how about now? You know, and I think, again, it's just about being relational and fun. I know I get the best response when I have posts about Owen. You know, instead of saying things like Green's Chew, you know, whatever, I say Owen approved. Those little relational things go good on Facebook and of course with follow-up too. So you could say, Owen approves Green Chews, just want to let you know about our kid-friendly product or whatever. And again, you're just being relational. But the biggest thing is asking them questions and then telling them about your own self and kind of being open in that way, because I think people want to hang out with you then, right? They want you to be, they want to be your friend. I know some of my best distributors, when I followed up with them from the beginning, I treated them like they were already my best friend. An example of this is I called someone and left a message, and then I called my mom, and I was talking to my mom for a little bit, and this girl called me back. So I immediately texted her while I'm on the phone with my mom and just said, hey, talking to my mom, I'll call you in a few. And she said, okay, great. And then I called her right after, and it was like we were already friends. And so I think that kind of thing is just, again, about being relationship. Okay, Janelle, her big life change is causing her to get over her fears. And you were looking good, Janelle. If you have not seen Janelle's before and after picture, hot mama, goodness, big change. What other questions do you have about follow-up or tips maybe that you've done? So you naturally, Tamara, I would say that if it's not hard, then keep doing it. If it's time-consuming and you don't necessarily feel like it's worth it, then create something that is worth it. But I think that's pretty normal. And I would say, with that being said, a lot of times in this business, what's interesting is that we do a lot of things that don't feel worth it. We really do. Parties, you're like, oh, is that worth it? You're sending email, oh, is that worth it? Did it work? Is it working? Did it, whatever. But it's all about learning. And the more you do, the more you learn, the more your confidence grows. And the more your confidence grows, the more you sign. So I can tell you, I have seriously been. I mean, I've traveled hours to parties where one person shows up. Or I remember flying to Texas and helping a group with an expo, and they quit 2 months later. I mean, like, things like that happen all of the time. But whenever you're thinking, oh, is this worth it? Number one, think of a few things. Is it building relationships and connecting with people? Is it communicating with new people? Is it helping my team to grow? And am I learning in the process? And if you are learning and you're growing and it's connecting with your people, then I definitely think it's worth it. So even all those little things that happen where you say, is this worth it? Certainly we want to reevaluate, but I can tell you this is a people business, and the more you invest in those people, even if it doesn't seem worth it at that time, always, always is. Yes, Janelle is saying that this is what she has to do. I mean, is working for her, and this is the way that she's going to be able to stay home with her kids. And how easy it is to talk to people. She went to urgent care, and like, I don't know, what'd you get, like 2 rep appointments or something crazy from being just talking to people? Okay, good. If it's not hard, Tamara, then I would keep doing it for sure, because that's pretty normal. I would say 10% of leads sign up, and 10% of people who sign up actually do something. So that's why it's so important to just be generating leads most of the time. I would say most of what I do is follow up and train new distributors, and really getting them into the community and really focusing and getting them plugged into the system within the first 4 to 6 weeks. If they don't, then I know I did my best. If they do, I know that we have a budding leader because they don't quit. Yay! Hey, Aubrey. We have a budding diamond on the webinar tonight, so feel free to ask her a question. She's a recruiting machine and is about to get the good bonus certainly in March. What other questions do you have? I've got a few things on my list too, but I want to make sure that we're getting to your questions. Oh, Janelle sold 3 reps at the urgent care. So, and I have to tell you, my sister walked into the gym the other day, and she had a magnet on her car or something like that, and someone said, "So tell me about this crazy rep." And she booked a rep appointment, got the girls' information, and they're meeting this week. So it totally happens. Totally happens. Me, on the other hand, I had a thing on the back of, and booked a party. Look at her, superstar. I had a thing on the back of my car once, and the only call I got was somebody that called me while I was in Meijer, which is our grocery store, and she said, or this guy said, "Are you the girl with, the wrap thing on your car?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "You're parked too close to me. Can you come move it?" I was like, okay, darn. It's the only call I ever got. But it was only on for a winter because it actually came off. So. All right. Any other questions real quick before I move on? All right. Okay. A couple things in terms of closing. I think a few things is saying one-liners. When do you plan to sign up? I think a lot of times we get off the phone and we're like, okay, great, so sounds good, when are you going to sign up? When do you think you'll get in the system? And I often say, when you're in the system, I will add you to the team page, we'll start training, and I'll walk you through your e-suite. So let me know when you're in. Or, if you're in person, hand them a pen. If they're local to you, book a party and get them in the system even before their party so that way they can start signing up and going through their training, the week before. You don't have to wait. I think the biggest thing is being decisive a little bit for them, or at least being confident. Brandon told me this today. He's actually at a conference right now in Austin, and he had a big conference with, one of the speakers was the sales genius. So he was telling me at his break some of the things he's learning. And one of the things he said was to address the excuse before they even say it. So we all went through the task force this past month, and you heard all the excuses. No time, no money, I don't know anybody, all those normal things. Normal fears that people have. That's just, say, welcome to normal. You're a human being. But what he said was to address those before they even come up. So you can say something like, now I know if you're like most people, you probably don't feel like you have any time, but this is how I make time for this business. Or, I know that it's extra money is hard to come by, but, or I know with kids you're crazy busy, but, all these things you can address that excuse before they even really say it. And then they can't use it as an excuse, right? Because you've already given them you overcame the objection. I'm going to learn more when he comes back. I don't know the lady's name, but I'm going to see if I can find it because what he was telling me was pretty good. Nicole, do I recommend emails more than texting? No. Texting for sure. People are not checking their email as much. Even Facebook is way better than email sometimes. So I know Cami said she stopped using her autoresponders and is only doing texting. I kept my autoresponders because it's not hard for me, and then now I have a list I can blast. But I do think that texting is the way to go. So I use Mighty Text. Mighty Text is an app for my Samsung Android. I don't think I have one for iPhone yet, but I'll show you. It's really cool. Here, I'm going to see if I can turn my screen. No, you won't be able to see it, I don't think. So I'll pull it up. I'm going to pull up my Mighty Text, and it's the coolest thing ever. So let me get to it really quick, and then I'll show it to you because it really is worth it. Okay, let me show you. It's super cool. So Mighty Text is a texting app. Oh, it's like, let me see. There you go. It's a texting app that I use on my computer, and then when I text someone, so I can text, Nicole, I'm going to text you right now, and it's going to look like it's coming from my phone. Sometimes when you do things and you can tell that it's not really like, you know, you want it to be. So this is one thing that I use all the time. You can see I texted all those numbers. I texted leads and new distributors that are not yet in my phone today. We've got the GroupMe app. So I'll say my VIP leader group. And that way I can text a bunch of people at once. And you can even go like this, where I can be texting a bunch of people. This is a lead I texted that said she wasn't quite sure. And I said, I know her, so I was a bit, I'll show you my text. She said, sorry, I'm just not sure. I think if I become more confident, I will sign up. And I said, confidence comes through action. Let me know if you want to come to the next One Team, One Mission in whatever. She says she's been thinking about it, but she wants to make sure she's committed. And I said, everyone's nervous to start something new. We have tons of support and training if you decide you want to learn. Again, just kind of making it, just, I don't know, kind of just being real, really. I often don't say things like, tell me, you know, hey, let me know if you have any questions. What I try to do is, here we go. I try to give them information and then follow up with them. So she came over to try a wrap. I invited her to One Team, One Mission. She canceled at the last minute. I've texted her a few times. You know, she's going through a transition right now. We'll get her. I'm not scared. Yes, the app is called Mighty Text. Mighty Text, yep. Janelle, it's so worth it. I seriously would get an Android because of this app, seriously. It has saved my life. Because then you can copy and paste it, right? You can copy, paste. And because people are texting so much more, it's really cool. And then the other thing that happens too is, okay, sometimes my phone has to be plugged in, or I don't want to take calls. Maybe it's later at night, I'm hanging out with Brandon, and I don't necessarily want to take calls, but texts come in. So if we're downstairs watching a TV or whatever, and I've got my computer with me, the texts come through the computer and it pops up, so I can respond to a text from my computer downstairs while my phone is upstairs charging. Yes, it's awesome. Okay, let's see. All right, Aubrey. Planting lots of seeds, lots of follow-up, reaching out to 5 new people a day, keeping it simple, excitement, passion. I just let everybody know that if I can do it, so can anyone. Yes, seriously. I think the passion and excitement is huge. And and making people, people don't do something like this because of fear. Really, that stops so many people from even trying. They don't think it's for them, or they don't think whatever. And so if we can combat all of those fears, and a lot of times you just have to say, trust me. Trust me. I mean, I had to say that to Lisa, my sister, trust me. Just trust me. Let me help you do this, because it's awesome, and you will, whatever. And we all learn and grow throughout the process, but sometimes you just have to say, like, you can do it, trust me. So Aubrey, one question, are new people, is it by blitzing or Facebook ads, or are you just really working through your hundreds list still in referrals? Amanda, we've looked for an iPhone app like Mighty Text. They don't have one yet. I know, that's sad. GroupMe is another thing. I'll show you GroupMe too. Now again, we're kind of going into team training, as well as like, what do you do when you sign these people up? But GroupMe is an app that we've started using. I like it because I think it really helps me to keep track of people, and the people that want to participate will. And it's just a smaller group to get to know people. And again, text is more immediate than even Facebook now. So this is GroupMe. And you can see I'm in a couple different groups. Cami has a group with her leaders where, oh no, this is mine. Sorry, this is my leaders. And so you can see I did the whole group. These are all the different members of the group. These are different team groups. And so another thing that I can do is go through here, and this goes to their text as well. So when I sign up a new distributor, I have them added to the team page, and then I add them to a group text, a group that's a smaller group that I can just, that way, if I have a task or an encouragement, or I just want to reach out, I can use this as a way to touch a bunch of people at once. I know Cami has used this to, she'll say, okay, anybody that can get on a call in 10 minutes, get on with us. And then she'll have maybe 5 people on. Well, then she can connect with those people, and it's just kind of cool. So this is something that I have started as well. And this is a group text, but you can do it through the computer. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's true. It really is true. I mean, how many people do you know that say, oh, I signed up with someone local, or I signed up with my friend, or my cousin just signed up, and you want to be the person they remember, and you want them to hear it from you first. So it's true. People, I mean, in the next 2-3 years, we will be a household name, and so I mean, the growth is now. Ursula, it does tell you your battery life. I know, it's the coolest thing. Brandon has it too, so sometimes his texts pop up on my computer. Sample of greens to blitz cards to guys. Oh, that's a great idea. So more or less, Audrey, you're out of the house too. I mean, you're getting out of the house and you're talking to people. Anna, yes, it is. I agree. I really do love it. I was scared of it at first, but the screen's way bigger, way better. Let me think. What other things was verbiage was I going to share? This is something we're going to continue to talk more about, because I think, oh, okay, Lisa says she's been getting Facebook messages from loyals who have not been ordering and they now want to order. So call, I mean, really, again, good customer service, keep in touch with your people. Even if they come and say, oh, I didn't love the rap, or oh, this happened, or oh, you can problem solve it. I mean, really, we all know most people need to use more than one rap to see the results that they want to see, and so that you can talk them through that. I know Kami had somebody call her once and said, oh, I don't love the thermofit, it's not working, which of course we were like, what? And she said, you know what, double up on your thermofit, or add one more, and then it started working awesome. Supplements are based on 150 pounds, so if they're made more than 150 pounds, then you may need to take more. So anyway, just things like that are pretty important. So Janelle, is that a closing line that you use? Do it today, don't wait till tomorrow? Oh, Lisa's giving out chews, and they are so delicious. I'm like gonna tape a video of Owen when he opens the chews box, because he always goes, yes, Green's chews. That's so funny. How to seal the deal when people are interested? I think I would just say, it's not even just something as simple as, when are you ready to get started? Or sometimes I pretend like they already signed up, especially if there's nothing really that's holding them back. And I say, all right, well, let's get you in the system and start planning your party. Or if they're local, I'll say, let's plan your party. Do you want to sign up now or then? And really just kind of be directive with it. Remember, you're the expert. Even if you've been in 2 days, you're the expert. And so just like when you go get your hair done, sometimes you say, do what you need to do. Or you're going to get your updo or something, or like, do your magic. You're the expert. At least I know I say that. And so when you're talking to a lead, you're the expert. And so you want to be a bit directive with them too. So I'll do things like I'll say, all right, I'm going to email you and take a look at it. Let me know what you think. And then follow up and say, what'd you think? Do you have any questions? Are you able to look at it yet? I always try to connect my communication. So if I'll say, if I call them, I'll text them right afterwards. Again, using my Mighty Text, because I call them and then I text them right there. It's really easy. And then I say, I just emailed you from information. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think. And again, I always try to connect it all. Oh, it could be, Heidi. Maybe tomorrow is your day to not think and just do, and get on the phone with your list and make things happen. Because I think the more you follow up, your confidence will grow. And even if you hang up the phone sometimes and you say, oh man, I stunk that up, I did not do good at that one, you'll learn from it, and every time you just learn and grow. I remember used to being so nervous when I would call leads, and now you call them like they're the back of your hand, and the only way you get there is because of practice. I've been telling my team, if you want something, someone else will get that customer loyal. Yeah, urgency is huge. Urgency is huge. That's true. Because we all know that we double every year, and we all know that we're not getting any smaller. You know what I mean? We're only getting bigger, and so it's important that people jump on the bandwagon now, certainly. Shauna, I think you can certainly call your loyals or text them, and you can do things like the first 5 people that get back to me, will get a sample of the greens chew, or the first 5 people who do the who whatever are you. But again, you want to decide if it's worth your time going down that road, or if you want to find new people. I think they always say it's easier to find new blood than raise the dead. So if you've done that, if you've connected with them and they're not responding, then go find new loyals. I don't know that it's worth your time to keep going down that road if they're not responding. But let's see. Ursula, yes, I could imagine that you could be a puker. So I think that is something to consider. She's saying that she tries to sell them everything or tell them everything she knows, like everything. And we call that puking on people. And again, that means you're talking too much. And when you talk too much, their ears shut off. Because again, we want to engage them in a conversation. So you always want to end with a question when you're texting or emailing so they have a reason to get back with you. You always want to just see what their need is, and then you can tailor the conversation to that. You do not want to be a puker because then they are not listening. They just want to know how they can get off the phone with you. And then when you call, they're not going to want to listen because they're afraid that you're going to keep them on the phone for so long. So again, it is about give and take, and getting to know them. So what Pam says to combat puking is drip, duct tape. Drip, duct tape. Right? So that means that you are giving a little bit and then listening. I actually talked to a leader who's been rocking it out on her fan pages, and she said that she's learned things instead of saying, like, this is what a loyal customer is, this is a real retail option, these are all your options right here, what do you want to do? She'll say, most people become a loyal customer. And then they say, well, what's a loyal customer? And then you go back on that. And then, so you want to get this conversation flowing, which means you've got to keep it short so they ask questions and then come back. Because if you're answering a question that's not asked, they're not really listening to it. So you want to get them to ask those questions so you can engage in that conversation. Amanda. Yes. Yes, they leave. That's funny. Their interest leaves their eyes. Being consistent has helped. Yes. You know what? I do think that consistency is key with anything because people want to join an active, growing, fun, positive team. So if you're posting about your business randomly, maybe here and there, I mean, it doesn't mean that you're posting spam on your Facebook every day, but it means that you're at least engaging with people and letting them know what it is and that you're open for business. Because I've had people sign up with me because they said, yeah, my friend does it, but she doesn't really do it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Go tell your friend she's not working hard enough? We just want to be loud. We just want to be loud. And Nicole, I'm going to call you out on this because I hear you had like your best friend, right? Didn't even know you were a distributor. Tell everybody that story. I think they were like going for a walk and they just realized they both were distributors and they never even knew it. And they're not on the same team because they didn't tell each other. So again, I think this, and Tamara now will go to say somebody, or go to people and just say, hey, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but here's my card and I want you to think of me when you're ready, or something like that, because you certainly want people to know you. Oh, okay, Anna. Good question. A lot of people use money as an excuse. Janelle gave you a comeback. Would you give up one coffee a week to better your health? Would you work hard? Would you sell 8 wraps a month to have a self-running business? You know, I think that money is tight for most people. And you can again say the most people thing. um, well, one coffee a week would be like $25, right? That's funny. And so what I would say is like what I tell people is if you sell 8 wraps a month, you have a self-running business. So make that your goal. You know, what they said at conference, I loved, Ashley said this. She said, don't let your why be your excuse. Don't let your why become your why not. You know, if money is your why, then don't let that become your excuse as well. If children are your why, then don't let that become your excuse as well. And so, you know, if they have money as a problem, then say, well, do you want to change it? Because if you do, I can help you. If you don't, then you're stuck. I can't want it more than you do. So I guess that's what I would say. Do you want to change it? And if so, I can help you with that. Your goal is to sell at least 8 reps a month, and you'll have a self-running business, and you will be signing up loyal customers and distributors along the way. Yeah. Well, I mean, get to know if they, I mean, I guess that's the thing. Anna's saying that she's telling him it's a sign. When certainly it could be, but you also want to know is it something that they're willing to work for, something they're willing to change, something. There's 3 ways to solve a problem, right? You do something different, you accept where you are, or you stay miserable. And so sometimes people just accept where they are and stay miserable instead of doing something different. What is true but so hard, PJ? Because if you think that it's hard, it's going to be, period. If you think this is fun and you think it's exciting and you like the, you know, whatever, then that's the reality that you'll be in. Is it effort and work? Sure. Absolutely. Is there disappointment? Absolutely. Is there reward? Absolutely. I think a lot of this, you know, for me when I was going through my promotions, there were times when I thought, oh, not letting your why become your why not. It's a choice. It's a conscious choice because it's really easy to slide into that for sure. Yeah, certainly setting yourself up with parameters. I mean, if you've got kids, then help. And getting help, getting babysitting time, getting someone so you can get work done. I mean, setting your life up for success will be helpful. Getting supports in terms of getting your significant other on board, all that kind of stuff really helps. So that way you can carve out some time. And when your significant other is on board and they are on the same goal with you, it makes a big difference as well, because then they're going to be high-fiving you when you come home from the party, right, and saying, how did it go? How many reps did you sell? Rather, you know, than being annoyed that you were gone. I asked Melanie McFarland once, I said, what keeps you excited? You know, because we all get tired, right? Especially, she's been doing this, 10 years or something? I'm sure she's tired sometimes. And I said, what keeps you excited? And she said, it's a choice. And I thought, that's so true. I mean, how often do we just kind of, we can let the frustration take over, or we can choose the other side. Okay. Marion, yeah. What do you want? Why do you want it? And what's stopping you? And you know what's funny? When I talk to Sarah about this, she tells people if they say nothing's stopping me, she's learned that if people say nothing's stopping me, she's not going to hear from them again, because they're not being real. They're not being truthful to themselves. they're not really sitting down to answer this question. They're just saying, nothing, I got this. And then they fall off the face of the earth and she never hears from them again. So she knows that what people do to answer that question is kind of key to whether or not they're really internalizing what's going on. All right. What other questions do we have? Well, our hour is almost up. So thank you so much for being a part of the live hangout. I'm glad it worked. Hopefully technology was okay and the sound was okay and you can hear me through my little cold here. But you know, you joined the task force for a reason. And I think at the beginning you all really had to identify your why, what you want out of this business, what you want out of life in general, and how this business can help take you down that path. If you listen to the call on Monday, we talked about the fact that It Works can allow you to fulfill your God-given talents within this business, within your team, within your community, and you can be who you're made to be within this business. Or you can use this business to do what you're made to do outside of it. I know some people, their heart is Africa, and you know, they use this business so they can give back in other ways, or they have the time freedom to coach soccer and whatever they're made to do. And so for those of you that have been on the task force this past month, I want you to think back to a few things that you have learned. And again, if you're like Sarah Savage and you just say, whatever, yay, got it, you know, then we know that you haven't really taken the time to think about it. So really think about what you have learned throughout this last month. Number one, did you push harder than you've ever pushed? Did you spend time doing something, even if you didn't feel like it at the moment, but then, you know, you started calling leads and then 3 calls in, you were feeling good about it. You know, what did you do to push yourself this last month? What did you learn? And how are you going to carry this through the next 2 months? Because this is not just a 30-day run. You need bursts of energy within this business. And although the community and the accountability can really help, you don't need that to be successful. Because at the end of the day, what we want you to do is to internalize these habits, these good business habits, the self-checks where you yourself are saying, okay, what can I do differently? How can I be better? How can I give more? How can I use my time more wisely? How can I be more effective? Whatever it is, these self-checks throughout your journey are really going to be what takes you to the next level. So use this task force as a platform for you to just jump into this next month. March is a long month. March is when people are getting tax returns back. March is when people are getting rid of the winter and they're going through a transition and they want to do something new. March is one of our biggest months of the entire year. And the seeds that you've been planting over the past 6 months will sprout now. Your hard work will pay off and you're going to start seeing all of this momentum if you've been planting seeds. If you haven't been planting seeds, then it sometimes takes a few months for those things to cultivate. But now is the time to do that extra step, to go that extra mile, to call that extra person. There is no BB in BB, right? And I think now is the time to really take a step back and decide what you want your March to look like as well. The task force group is going to remain open. It's not going to be active. I'm not going to be posting tasks in there for the month of March, but it is going to remain open. So use the community and the relationships that you've made throughout this last month on that task force as you need to, and go through the tasks yourself. Go through the tasks and maybe even go through it every day like we did. Just go back to it and do it again. And then decide your goal for the month of March and let's make it happen, because again, this is your business. This is your baby, and this is your life, and we want to see you succeed. So let me see. Any questions? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Well, and we are gonna keep doing it again because this is really fun. So thank you guys for being on. I appreciate you, and have an awesome night.